I, Dr. Suhaib Bandh, founder, President, Academy of EcoScience, on behalf of myself and on behalf of the Academy of EcoScience, welcome you all to the Maiden International Web Conference on Sustainable Environment and Agriculture, Technological Progressions and Transitions. I'm delighted to be with you to focus on sustainable environment and agriculture, the heart of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Altering patterns of production and consumption is essential to reverse environmental degradation and combat climate change. So, we must reach a common understanding of the environmental challenge we face and establish how to overcome these challenges, and then to sustain the economic and social development in our region. This is critical because our best efforts to achieve the 2030 agenda are falling short in our continent, especially. United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific analysis shows that at the current rate of progress, only one sustainable development goal, which is universal education, is on track to be met. However, the environmental stewardship remains inadequate. The health of our forests is deteriorating, the land use pattern is changing, the agricultural lands are being converted into urban and commercial lands at an unprecedented speed, the rivers are being polluted, the natural resources are being exploited, and the oceans have deteriorated since the baseline in 2015, with more than 40% of the coral reefs and 60% of coastal mangroves lost. The protection of natural habitats has weakened, and our region has recorded net losses in natural forests. The current scenario speaks that we live in the most resource intensive region in the world. In 2017, Asia Pacific accounted for 65% of global domestic material consumption. Rapid urbanization, expansion of manufacturing, and the consumption of an emerging middle class has led to an increasing in material demand. In 2016, over half of the countries in our region were classified as water insecure, and water scarce. Moving away from fossil fuels to reduce greenhouse gas emissions is a major challenge, not least because of the recent investments made in coal power stations. Estimates indicate that modern renewables will need to supply 35% of the region's energy consumption by 2030 to achieve energy sector emission reduction targets. But the percentage of renewables in the energy mix has declined from 23% in 1990 to 18% in 2014. And there is growing recognition that these problems can no longer wait. By increasing resource efficiency, by transitioning to a circular economy, where materials are reused, remanufactured, and recycled, more effective management of ecosystems, and concerted climate action is achievable. A circular economy is expected to generate material cost saving of 420 billion US dollars by 2025 in the consumer goods sector alone. This would contribute to reducing by half the emissions gap between current climate action commitments and efforts required by the Paris Agreement. However, the conscious environmental actions could make it rare. On the other hand, sustainable agriculture has become a buzzword or a popular phrase for an environmentally sound, productive, economically viable, and socially desirable agriculture. Soil and water must be used effectively to minimize negative impacts on the environment and to ensure resilience to climate change, with the key goal of increasing production and enhancing livelihoods and reducing negative impacts on the environment. So there's a burning need for agricultural automation that involves the use of tools and machinery to improve the efficiency of human time and work without degrading soil quality and other production factors which affect sustainability, as it is directly linked to the environment and other socio-economic issues. Therefore, the future production process are expected to be complex in order to take on climate action. Acquiring the viewpoint involves reframing problems and using new methods to define and resolve key points of program interface. Regional cooperation between the stakeholders can help us to meet these challenges successfully. Strengthened environment and development actions can provide us the opportunities for peer learning, sharing a best practice, and supporting the coherent policies for clean and environmentally sustainable development. These include initiatives on green growth, green economy, sustainable agriculture, environmental accounting and statistics, partnerships, and regional coordination mechanisms. We have to work with the partners on an environmental nexus approach to integrate water, energy, and food production systems and increase resource efficiency for sustainable environment and agriculture. To achieve the targeted goals, we must include working in the informal sectors by motivated individual actions, community actions, social actions, nationwide actions, and above all, universal actions. There are a few questions for each one of us to answer. Number one, where do we need to focus in terms of the future analytical work? Number two, what should be the trends in our priority areas? Number three, what should be the scope of our environmental actions? Number four, what do we need to enter? Why do we need to enter into more effective environmental cooperation initiatives? We basically, as the stewards of the environment, the stewards of a safe environment, need to answer these questions, both at an individual level as well as at a collective level, because it becomes our moral responsibility to save whatever is left in the environment. Besides, we need to change our psychological setup from the anthropocentric approach to the ecocentric approach so that we change the philosophy of our life, philosophy of our environment, philosophy of thinking vis-a-vis the environment. We need to admit that the environment and the resources present in it is not what we have borrowed from our ancestors, but is actually a debt of the future coming generation. Once we channelize our thinking and philosophy in this direction, in the direction that it has been borrowed from the future, it's a debt of the future generation, we can work in a sustainable manner. We can develop in a sustainable manner. We can run the agricultural practices in a sustainable manner. And once we channelize our direction in this way, we can get the answers to all these questions which we have posed to ourselves at the individual level as well as at the collective level. I look forward to hearing the thoughts of our revered speakers on the occasion and the selected participant speakers on all these issues. We are grateful for the support and cooperation received from one and all who is participating in this event to make our planet more sustainable, safe, and inclusive. Thank you for your attention. I wish you a very successful conference ahead. With these words, I would like to invite Dr. Javed Ahmed Pare, the convener of the conference and General Secretary, Academy of EcoScience, to present his introduction about the society. Dr. Javed, please welcome.